On today's episode of You Asked, today is this show's 1-year anniversary. 52 weeks feels like a cool milestone, so let's take a look back on the year that was, answer some more questions, and give some stuff away. Stick around, because you don't want to miss this one. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caleb Dennison, and I am so stoked that today we celebrate 1 year of doing this show. I want to start by thanking you, our loyal viewers, because without your questions and your views, this show would not exist. So thank you for being here and supporting us. I never, ever take it for granted, and my gratitude is real. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there were times when I wanted to just skip a week. Making sure this show got made every single week has been challenging for everyone involved, but we got creative, we sucked it up, and got it done. So I wanna also thank my team, Chris, Zeke, Greg, and Corey. Thanks for helping me make this happen. I couldn't do it without all of you as well. Now, as teased in the intro, there is gonna be a giveaway at the end of this video, so please stick around for that. I will also be answering a few questions, otherwise it wouldn't really be an episode of You Asked, right? So that's coming up as well. But first, I wanna take a look back and touch on some of the highlights over this past year. First, some numbers. Not numbers for knit nerds, that's a different thing, just some fun numbers. Over the course of 51 episodes, we've answered over 210 viewer questions. This show has pulled in over 4 million views so far, along with over 8,000 comments and 160,000 likes. Now, I wanted to be able to tell you how many questions we've gotten over the past year, but there is simply no way to count them because, despite the fact that viewers of this show know to email their questions to youasked@digitaltrends.com, many questions still come in as YouTube video comments, through my personal emails, my personal Instagram DMs, Facebook DMs, on Twitter X, on Threads, and even on LinkedIn, proving that y'all will go great lengths to find me. I will say though that just the You Asked inbox, which wasn't started until we'd already been doing this show for a couple of weeks, currently has over 2,300 emails in it. I think it's safe to say we've gotten over 4,000 You Asked submissions at this point, and that means I've only been able to handle about 5.5% of all the questions that have come in. But you know what? I'm gonna call that a dub. Now, in order to make sure we produced a show every single week, we've had to get creative or otherwise rise to the challenge. One particular week, I had to record 2 shows in a row just so I could take a vacation. But the most memorable occasions were when we had to record the show while away from this studio. And all of those episodes stood out for one reason or another. The first remote You Asked recording took place in Tokyo, Japan. And the interesting thing about that one is that we did not have a whole lot of time to ourselves on that trip. So we really had to just shoehorn it in. And I stayed up super late the night before looking at questions to answer. Then, when it came time to shoot, we had considered just shooting it in my hotel room there. But since we were on a Sony trip in Japan, we decided to do a Sony-themed episode, and we really wanted for the background to feel like Tokyo. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but apparently just standing on the street and recording video is discouraged there. So, whoops, but we picked a spot on the boardwalk in the shopping center surrounding our hotel, and I think it turned out well. Interesting thing was that we were in a very high traffic area, and while folks were polite, they honestly did not care about giving us extra space, nor did they seem to care that we were recording. But maybe in reality they did, I don't know. The next remote shoot was in Las Vegas during CES. I love how we were able to get the sphere in the background for this one. And I remember thinking that since we were venturing well off strip, maybe it'd be a little more quiet, a little less distracting. That turned out not to be the case on both counts. It was loud, and we had to record so many takes to get that done. But I think it turned out well there too. This next remote has to be my favorite. Zeke and I were atop a hotel in Culver City in a really cool location, and while there was a crazy amount of loud construction happening right across the street, Somehow, we still managed to pull it off. It can be hard to tell due to the way we had to frame the shot, but it was such a cool view there. The next two remotes were both in New York City. The first one I had help with because Zeke was there with me at the time. It was a very nice but very small hotel room, as New York City hotel rooms tend to be, but it had this awesome view. Zeke was able to get the shot, and I think it turned out really well there. But then Zeke had to head home, so I was on my own for the next one, and I had to switch hotels as well. I had a studio light and I had a Sony a7S III camera, but I mean, one of the tiniest rooms I've ever stayed in, so it was really hard to frame the shot. I'm sitting on the bed for this one, and well, I did the best I could, but I was really missing Zeke and Chris for this one. In retrospect, I kind of wish I'd just gone down to Chelsea Piers and done it down there. Nobody would have cared, and the view would have been awesome. But yeah, hindsight is 20/20, and I managed to get it done, so all's well that ends well, right? Now, some folks have asked me to talk about the most memorable question I got asked on this show. And right or wrong, one thing immediately pops into my mind, and it wasn't even a question. A viewer named Jen Orr wrote, "My husband loves your content, so you're on my TV a lot. I noticed it looks like you may have a nodule on the right side of your thyroid. Just thought you should get it checked out if you haven't already." Now, at first I was like, wow, either Jen has some eagle eyes or they are watching me on a huge TV. Maybe it's a bit of both. Anyway, I did not toss this question aside. I checked myself out and was like, yeah, there is something going on there. So I paid my doctor a visit, and while it turns out the old thyroid is doing just fine, I did discover something else on that visit, and we took care of it right away. Here I'm trying to help you guys out, and really, y'all end up helping me out. So thank you, Jen Orr. Anyway, a lot of good things have come out of doing this show. It's given me a chance to more closely connect with you all watching out there. It's opened my eyes to the kind of challenges, frustration, and confusion that a lot of folks are experiencing apparently. And it's helped me identify opportunities to make more helpful videos outside of this show, like the audio sync video we're working on right now. That's a direct result of conversations that happened through this show. I also love how you're helping each other out in the comment section. It's a sign of a really helpful, positive community, and that's heartwarming to be a part of. Okay, so thanks for reminiscing with me. Now let's do a few viewer questions, and then we'll get to the giveaway portion of this video. There is a TV involved, by the way. Marco writes, "I'm looking toward buying a new TV, but I'm turned off by the amount of bloat the software has these days. Having to create accounts and having ads shown every time I start it up is annoying. I use my TV like a monitor for the attached PC and PlayStation mostly. Any suggestions on brands or OS types that are close to turn on and go?" Yeah, so Marco, the Google TV platform makes it possible to have the TV immediately tune in to the last used HDMI input so that every time you turn on the TV, you're looking at whatever is connected to that HDMI port, not the Google TV OS. The Google TV OS is still laying in wait in the background, but you really only have to see it when switching inputs, or maybe if you decide to prompt it for an update, assuming you don't have auto updates turned on in the settings menu. Also, you can sort of set up Google TVs to operate without logging into your Google account. This doesn't change anything about the way the home screen looks. It just doesn't have you logged in. I know Sony and TCL TVs allow this, and I'm pretty sure Hisense TVs do as well. So you've got options. It may very well be possible that other TV brands that run Google TV allow this too. I'm messing with the Roku Pro series, so other platforms might be able to run it too. I'm gonna check. I'm just saying that I recently had experience with doing this on a Google TV, specifically a Sony. Next, Mike is having trouble deciding between the Bravia 7 and Bravia 9 and feels they are very close in performance. Mike then tries to trick me into telling him whether to get an 85-inch Bravia 7 or a 77-inch Bravia 8. Very clever, Mikey. And he mentions that he would like to see a comparison between the Bravia 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so the performance differences between the Bravia 7 and Bravia 9 is gonna look pretty nuanced to most viewers. Those of us who are really into imaging and displays and stuff, tend to have very high scrutiny that most folks just don't have going on. In fact, those normies, we'll call them, they probably think we're nuts, and they might not be wrong. Anyway, to most folks, the price difference between the Bravia 7 and Bravia 9 is gonna be hard to justify based purely on picture quality differences. But what the Bravia 9 does is not just minimize blooming, it also does well with shadow detail, most of the time, and it also punches up HDR highlights while maintaining overall contrast a bit better than the Bravia 7. Again, it's gonna be nuanced for most folks, so the Bravia 7 would probably be the better call for most people. Now, you tried to trick me by asking whether I would personally buy a 77-inch Bravia 8 OLED or an 85-inch Bravia 7, which is both an OLED versus mini LED question and a big TV versus even bigger TV question. Now, my preferences aren't your preferences, but you're the one trying to trick me here, so I'll just tell you I'd buy the Bravia 8. And yeah, I think a Bravia lineup comparison would be awesome too, but I'm not even sure that I can have the Bravia 9 here at the same time as the Bravia 7, let alone the triple threat with the OLED in the mix. So I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off, but I would like to. Sony, you listening? This is why I'm always asking if I can hold on to these TVs longer than 3 weeks. Now, to Sony's credit, they are usually quite accommodating. I'm just having a bit of fun here. Nick from Birmingham, Alabama gets his question answered because I was born in Birmingham. Yes, we're going that random today, folks. Anyway, Nick says that he recently built a new house and adopted 2 new cats in a recent marriage. Cats, he is careful to point out that he loves very much, by the way. And he says that the dust and cat hair and paw prints are dirtying up his screen like never before. Dusting doesn't do it anymore, and he wants advice on the best way to clean his TV screen that won't damage it or leave streaks. Well, Nick, you're in luck because one of the most successful videos that I've ever made is how to clean your TV screen. Link is down in the description, and be prepared to see a very different looking Caleb in that video. Yes, it really is me. Okay, folks, it's giveaway time. So here's the deal. We are giving away a FLUANCE RT81 turntable in a joint anniversary celebration of FLUANCE's 25th year. And we are also giving away a TCL QLED TV. And here's the best part. The winner will get to choose between a 75-inch QM7 or a 65-inch QM8. I want to say thank you to both FLUANCE and TCL for supporting our little anniversary giveaway here. Now, as FLUANCE is headquartered in Ontario, Canada, the RT81 turntable prize is available to both US and Canadian residents. The TV is, I'm afraid, only available to US residents due to shipping and customs restrictions. Now, to all of you supporters out there who live outside the US, I see you. In fact, I see mostly you. People outside of the US are actually the most engaged viewers, and I am so thankful and I appreciate you. And I'm gonna see if I can figure out a way to have a giveaway only available to non-US residents. Give me a little time on that. I'm gonna do my absolute best. For those of you who wish to enter, you can click this link popping up over my shoulder right here, or you'll find a link to our giveaway page at the Digital Trends website. Link for that is down in the description as well. Good luck, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and celebrating this little milestone with us. Leave a comment down below and tell me which of these prizes you'd most like to win. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It is more important now than ever before. YouTube is making some fairly big changes behind the scenes, and we need your engagement more than ever before. Thank you again for your support. I'll see you on the next one, and until then, here's 2 other videos I think you might like. I think that's it.